Well, before we get started to the message this morning, I know y'all paid for the full course meal here today, but I want to give you a little appetizer to go on top. Is that okay? No extra charge. And that is, how many of you in here have been following the blood moon that's coming? Anybody? Hands? A few? Some of you? There's a full blood moon coming tonight, September 7th, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, if you follow prophecy at all or look at the prophetic world, the prophecy teachers, when stuff like this happens in the heavens, all of a sudden, all these words start coming out, and that's good because I believe that there will be signs in the heavens. I've taught on that extensively over the years. In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, forget the verse number, but when God says he created the stars and the moon and the sun, he said he's given them to us for a moed, for a convocation time. So all the Jews were supposed to set up their annual schedule by the moon. And he said, I've also given them to you as signs. They are signs for you. Psalm 19 records, God says that the heavens pour forth speech night and day. So the heavens are constantly speaking to us here on earth. About Jesus said in Matthew chapter 24, he said in the last days there will be signs in the heavens, earthquakes and so forth. So there's a lot of good foundation to the stellars, to the heavenly signs and so forth. However, when we look at them, you must not only watch, but what Jesus said to do to go along with the watching, we pray. So we watch and pray. Now, the other thing that's kind of getting tied in, and this is where I just want to throw a little caveat out here for y'all. How many of you heard that the rapture is taking place on September 23rd? Come on, let me see your hand. Right? There's all this stuff out in the prophetic world. The rapture is going to listen. You don't have to wait for September 23rd to go with Jesus. You might go today, honey. That's why, we always say here, you can't get ready. You must be ready, right? So your flight might leave out of here today. But, if it should happen on September 23rd, I will be 40,000 feet over the Atlantic Ocean on my way to South Africa. So I'm going to beat you to heaven by 40,000 feet. Come on, somebody. I'm going to have a little bit of a head start on y'all. So I say all this to just watch this stuff with an open eye and an open heart. Jesus says, no man, it's clear. No man knows the what? Day or the hour. So when these people start, a friend of mine shot me out of thinking, it's this year, September. Well, I says, what happened the last 2 years that you told me it was going to happen on? Because the last 3 years, it's it's going to be on a Feast of Trumpets. It's going to be on a Feast of Trumpets, this year, next year, next year. Now, personally, and I don't have time to teach that, I believe that the rapture will happen at some year on the Feast of Trumpets. Why do I believe that? In short, because every one of the feasts of the Lord are fulfilled on exact days. Jesus was crucified. We celebrated that this morning on the 14th of Nisan, which was the Passover. He was buried on the Feast of Unleavened Bread. He rose again on the Feast of First Fruits, 17 of Nisan in 32 AD. We saw the Feast of Pentecost, or Shavuot in the Hebrew. They were celebrating Shavuot when Moses is celebrating the giving of the word. That's what the celebration is all about. It's called the Matan Torah, the giving of the gift. In the upper room, it was filled exactly during the Feast of Shavuot, or the Feast of Pentecost, which we call it today, the giving of the word. It was giving on a tablet form in Exodus, but in Acts chapter 2, the law, the word, was written on our hearts. You see? So all of those were fulfilled on the exact day. So that would lead me to think that the next prophetic feast, the Feast of Trumpets, to be prophetically fulfilled, will be fulfilled the rapture will be fulfilled on the Feast of Trumpets. But we watch with an open eye. Don't jump on every little thing. You know, if you really believe, listen, if you really believe that he's coming on the 23rd, on the 22nd, I would like you to sign all your earthly assets over to Judah Ministries. Is that fair enough? If you really believe it, we'll see what kind of faith you walk by there. All right.